Hello and welcome back to Good Bad or Bad Bad, the show where we watch terrible movies and tell you if you should too. It's the 67th episode. I'm your host, Mr. Brian Schilligo. I'm joined as always by my other co-host.
Beep, beep.
Mr. Oh, it's the first of two Christmas episodes, which we do every year. We skipped Thanksgiving this year because there are not that many Thanksgiving movies, and the one we did last year sucked.
Yeah,
so
it was painful.
There's only one man in my life. Right, Johnny? Oh, please, Allie. Your legs are harder to shut than the John Benet Ramsey case.
Oh, snap.
Although the most recent one, we might regret it more.
I was about to say the one that took the place of our Thanksgiving episode may have been worse.
But, Charlie, how long have you been awake?
What is sleep, Kyle?
I had a thought, Brian.
Yeah.
Whenever I was looking through bad Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Who makes more Christmas movies than any actor you can think of?
I hadn't thought of this because I would have, if you would have asked me that question, I would have guessed like Kirk Cameron.
Dean Cain.
Yes.
One Dean Cain, who we had previously done a Christmas movie of.
Yeah, Christmas Rush.
Has
last
done
year,
like
right?
8 or 9, maybe even 10 Christmas movies.
It may become our new Christmas tradition is to do a Dean Cain Christmas music movie.
DEAN-CEMBER.
Yes, DEAN-CEMBER. I like it. I was amazed we could get away with just doing Dean Cain Christmas movies
Based around dogs.
dogs.
What?
For like the next 6 years.
There's like 5 of them.
I was like, I mean, it was one thing to find out he was in all these Christmas movies, which sure, fine. But specifically Christmas movies with dog, not even with dogs, with dog in the title.
Yes.
It's like 5 or 6 or something ridiculous. And the one we're doing for our first of 2 Christmas episodes is
The dog who saved Christmas?
yes. And there's like 7 of those. So
Yes.
My name's Zeus.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh.
Lord.
it's the one with Dean Cain from 2009, I
Yes,
think is
yes.
what it is.
And this has an all-star cast.
Oh, all-star. It has an all-star cast in the way it has a Smash Mouth all-star cast.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
So that's right off the bat. We got Dean Cain.
Yeah.
We've got Joey Diaz.
Joey Coco Diaz.
And by the way, this is a 100% a Home Alone ripoff.
Yeah, it's Home Alone with a dog.
Yes. So we got Dean Cain and Joey Diaz as our wet bandits.
Yes. I called them the washed up bandits.
We've got Mario Lopez. Mario Lopez voicing a dog who's our Macaulay Culkin.
Is somebody gonna get that? I'm starving over here. Come on, Georgie. You know I don't have thumbs.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, Mario Lopez as Macaulay Culkin as a dog.
Then we've got not Kevin James.
No.
But Kevin James's brother as the dad.
There we go, Zeusy. Is that better?
Ooh.
What do they do to you?
Oh, yeah. Now I'm digging it.
Made you all silly looking. It's only you and me. We're the men in the house.
He's like if you ran Kevin James through a shitty copier from the 80s.
What do they call him? Xerox?
Yeah, you poorly Xeroxed Kevin James, and he's about as good in a movie.
And then for our mother, we have, and the only thing I knew her from was Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Yes, that's the only thing anybody knows her from. She was in like 60 episodes of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I don't even know what she played, but she was in a lot of them. And that's like the entire, and then the kids, which that little redhead, I swear I knew that dude from something, but I could not figure out.
He does look like the Beverly Hillbillies guy.
Hell no. This fellow Ray J owns a record company and signed Michael to a single deal.
He's a genius.
This internet video went viral, and somehow they worked it into this kid getting a deal. Like for a show called the Beverly Hillbillies.
Oh, that kid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think that is who I was thinking of. Okay, because I was thinking, so the Beverly Hillbillies is a different thing than the Beverly Hillbillies. It was a play on that. But it was like a reality show or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll have to find a clip. That may have been what I was thinking of, because this kid...
Or maybe it's Hollywood Hillbillies.
Maybe that. I don't know. Because this kid looked so familiar to me, and... It was driving me insane. I was like, what do I know this little ginger from?
It is Hollywood Hillbillies.
Okay. Hold on. I got to look.
I don't know why
I
didn't think Beverly Hillbillies wasn't a show. It's totally a show from, like, what was it, the 60s?
Well, not Beverly Hillbillies. It's just the Beverly Hillbillies, which is what I thought you were talking about.
No. Good old Uncle Jed.
Hollywood Hillbillies. It is the kid I thought it was. The angry ginger.
Gingers have souls.
Imagine being Kevin James. Mm-hmm. Then imagine... being Kevin James' less talented, less attractive brother. Like, that's who this guy is. I don't know, it's just like...
We've got Don Swayze.
Yeah, it really, and it's like, but at least in Don Swayze's case, he's a poor knockoff of one of the most charismatic, amazing movie stars of a generation. This Gary Valentine's a knockoff of Paul Blart Mall Cop. Like... He's the same guy, but like you're the less interesting Paul Blart.
It's the Turkish remake or possibly Bollywood knockoff version of Kevin James.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It was so amazing the whole time.
Well, it's Christmas time again. Let all your good cheer in. It's Christmas time again.
Oh, really great opening music and credits, which is the first sign that it was going to be really cheap, that this movie was going to be incredibly cheap. This movie, all of the budget had...
This entirely went by, we found a house that an old couple uses in, I guess, Connecticut, because that's where this was shot.
Sure, I don't...
And then they were like, all right, who can we afford?
Yeah.
We can't get Kevin James.
No.
But we can get his brother.
Right. Perfect. Stupid people won't realize it's not Paul Blart. Nailed it.
We can't get Mario to come in to be the Wet Bandit, but we can get Dean Cain. We can get Mario Lopez to come in to voice.
He'll do voice. We can't get him in. We can't fly him out to Connecticut, so he'll just do voice from wherever he's living. He's doing Entertainment Tonight or whatever he was doing at the time. Yeah, and then they're like, all right, and we need like a guy who's like seems like an Italian mobster. Who seems like it, because he's not. Joey Coco Diaz, I mean, one, he's Cuban.
Yes.
Two, he looks and sounds, he every time I saw him, I was like...
I was constipated.
Liverwurst sandwich.
They didn't have no bologna. You know I like my bologna fresh, thin sliced from the butcher, not that supermarket stuff. And we've been together how long now? You know that whenever we pull a job, I get anxiety.
He's the guy you think was in Goodfellas or The Sopranos, but he wasn't in any of those things.
leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
Yeah,
he's like that guy.
100%. He looks like a low-level mobster who has like 3 lines in any gangster movie or TV show that you've ever seen, and he hasn't been. He's not. He probably has been in some, but like, yeah. And so they got that guy to kind of play like the tough, like, prisoner, like from New York kind of guy.
But also really stupid.
Yeah, but also an idiot. But he just got out of prison. And then Dean Cain's like the charismatic burglar. I mean, he's Dean Cain. He's as charismatic as he can be.
Bingo. Beauty right there. Looks like a Victorian mansion.
Looks like a giant dollhouse.
That beauty right there is going to be our last one.
Yeah. But so all the money, all of the budget had to 100% go to paying Dean Cain to be in this movie. I feel, or like all of this cast. Again, they're not names, but they're not names. They're like C-level, B-level, maybe C-level.
Like, for the record, Dean Cain stopped billing in this. Yeah. And he is in the film for all of 30
the last 30 minutes. He's not. He's in it like twice in the first hour. And then he shows up at like the 40, 50 minute mark and then is in most of it for the rest of it. They've probably filmed with him for a week. It's all one location. It's just him at this house, all in the same. He has one outfit he wears his criminal jumpsuit, plumbing jumpsuit. So yeah, they 100% filmed this with him in no time at all. You know how else I know how they filmed it in no time at all? All of the pickup shots of them doing stuff are filmed by like some backup crew that didn't know how to focus. Like, so like them like stealing shit out of drawers. It's like some PA's hands grabbing shit out of drawers and it's all out of focus. And it's all like, so like
everything was on automatic.
Yeah. Opening credits can be so easy to make your movie not look like it cost $8 to make, but they picked the font and the music to make it look like it cost $8, which I'm convinced it did. Mainly because we'll talk about it in a little bit.
My name's Zeus.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the hills we go, laughing all the way.
So we're introduced to the talking dog. His name is Zeus. He gets wrangled up into a dog shelter.
Talking dog?
Yeah.
It's a dog that talks only to us.
Sorry,
and other dogs.
I mean, talking in the movie, like, he doesn't actually talk to people, but he has the voiceover dog.
I had about all I can take here on these streets. I think I'm gonna turn myself into the dog catcher. Hey, at least I can get 3 square meals on the inside.
Yeah, basically, I gotta go get in the lockup so I can get some food because I'm starving. Which his backstory is I don't know how he ended up on the street because we find out in his backstory that he was a police dog.
The only thing I can tell you about Zeus is used to be a former police dog, K9 cop.
Really?
Yeah.
That blew a case basically
for barking.
By barking.
Well, I was the #1 canine in my division until that day.
Oh, get down, Zeus, get down. Zeus. Stop barking, stop barking.
And that's why he now has like dog PTSD. I mean, I'm not kidding. That's what we needed Neil Breen to show up in this movie and cure. You know, the cat lady kind of looks like a female Neil Breen. So she does cure the dog of his PTSD. So
you are now free of PTSD.
Thank you for freeing me.
So he was on the street, and I don't understand how this former police dog, even if he was, police dogs, from my understanding, even if once they retire, are still very well taken care of. They find great families for them. They don't just like kick them out on the fucking street.
My favorite thing about police dogs, and I think this is still a thing, is that they have to have like a higher rank. They have to be like a higher ranking than their handler or something like that, or like they have to be a certain ranking of their handler within the police force. So
I'll take your word for it.
You have to have like Lieutenant Fido or something like that.
I'll take your word for it.
Who's outranking patrolmen.
The whole time I was just like, his name is Alvin Flang.
Big deal. I'm Alvin Schwang.
His name is Alvin. So then Kevin James wants a dog. Not Kevin James. Wants a dog.
A watchdog.
A dog!
Daddy, can we?
I think it's a great idea, sweetheart.
For protection? They just... Aren't they talking about how...
Because the Dean-Cain Brigade.
You've been knocking up houses. Knocking over houses.
Right. And they specifically...
There's like a news story or something.
Joey Diaz specifically said, hey, you're breaking your cardinal rule. Don't do 2 houses on the same street.
Yeah.
What happened to the rule we had? We couldn't hit 2 houses on the same block.
Forget I ever said it. Beauty like that, rules are made to be broken.
And they look at this unbelievable home.
Yeah, it's huge.
That Gary Valentine owns.
It's fucking huge. We don't know what he does.
This house is so big that it has a pool table. It has a sauna.
It is a fucking sauna, yeah.
It has a bidet.
Yeah, it has a bidet. I was like, that's not a thing that most if you told me Kevin James while designing his house was like, the one thing we need,
I love how you're
fucking bidet. He's Kevin
James.
He's Kevin James. He wishes he was Kevin James, but he's basically Kevin James. Gary Valentine has to be the only person on the entire planet that wishes he was Kevin James. Oh. I don't know what Kevin James did to me other than Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, but so he goes to the pound to get a dog for protection because all this rash
All right,
about
this guy at the pound.
it's great.
Oh boy,
I love him.
I'm Benny. Nice to meet you, George. You want to adopt a dog?
There are people who looked at this script and then looked at their paycheck and then looked at the script again.
Yeah.
And you can tell the level of... I made this joke earlier. I'm going to make it now. We should have postmarked this film with how many mailed-in performances there are. like Gary Valentine's performance is...
Oh.
They got... He was like, you got me for one scene.
Yeah.
For one scene.
Yeah, one take. And there's numerous times where he's either completely forgetting his line or making it up.
Yeah.
Because there's like, he'll just like, and then we got the gingerbread house, we're going to grandma's, and so...
Remember, we've been working on this a long time, and it is kind of fragile, right? Yeah. And it is our gift to grandma.
Right.
You know. Yeah. So...
we gotta get this done, I guess. Like, and then that's the same.
Yes,
like, I was like, what the fuck?
And it is our gift to grandma.
But that's the guy that got the dog at the pound guy. He looked at the script. He's like, so I run a pound.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, we're gonna have fun with this.
Yeah.
We can use another dog around here, huh? Tell you what I do. How about I throw in some doggy biscuits, a rubber ball, and a doggy ball?
Yeah, he's pretty great. And so they get in there and he goes to adopt this dog and he runs into the pound guy and they're talking about the dogs and stuff and then he takes him in to see the dogs.
Eats a dog biscuit.
You know, some people think those are cookies and they eat them. They're doggy biscuits. Come on.
Yeah, look,
Because
it's
comedy. There's some classic comedy hijinks in this movie. Look. He goes in there and the shots of the dogs are out of focus. Because again, you can tell, I mean, even the main crew stuff, even the first like crew stuff is out of focus sometimes. But all of the second stuff is like
you
none of it's in focus.
What crew was working on what?
Yeah, there's a Taco Bell dog, and it's not even a Chihuahua, but I don't think it is. But it's like a stereotypical Mexican dog voice thing.
Please, sir, pick me. Oh, I hope it's me. Please, kind sir, please take me. I beg of you.
Yeah, and then there's like a prissy poodle, and I'm like,
so what are you doing here then?
Really stretching the bounds of writing here.
And my new owner is gonna ride in on his white horse and whisk me away to a place where milk bones are gold-plated.
Sure. Yeah. 375. 45 minutes. And you can just put the other chicken on a pan and just bake it at the same time. Cooking dinner.
Yeah,
he finds Zeus, and the guy tells him he used to be a police dog.
The only thing I can tell you about Zeus is, used to be a former police dog.
And so he's like, that's the dog, perfect.
Do you see the name of Zeus at the end?
No. Alvin Flank. Oh.
Lana.
Lana? Oh, so it's a female Zeus. All right. And so he decides, Zeus is the one. Brings him home.
However the rest goes, I'll sing it anyway. Zeus, you're gonna love the family, buddy.
And this is the point where I was like, there's some shots here where I'm like, who the fuck shot this thing? This is one of the most cinematically inept films that was like, for like what I imagine, I don't know what the budget was. I couldn't find it. But for what I imagine the budget was, again, with having like some named people who've been in stuff at least. Mm-hmm. Even Gary Valentine has been in stuff. Probably like plays
Adam
like
Sandler's movies.
Yeah, or like plays like Kevin James' brother and stuff. I guarantee you he mostly plays Kevin James's brother
in the King
things.
of Queens. He does play Kevin James's brother.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I guarantee it. He mostly plays he just plays himself.
Or maybe it's his cousin. Point being,
a relative, but yeah. But it's just nothing is visually interesting in this movie. None of the action, you can never see any. They never shoot any of the actual action.
Hey, is that gingerbread? Oh, I love gingerbread. Oh, yes.
No, Zeus, get back!
Yeah, take that. Oh.
That happens.
No.
There's like, they shoot like the start of the action, and then it happens off screen, and then the result of the action, like when the dog's like pushing ornaments off the roof. It's like close up of dog nudging ornament, cut to close up of Dean Cain dodging falling ornaments, and like, why do we not see a wider shot of that happening so we can see what's happening?
That dog's not trained.
No, it is. That dog is actually, that dog does some stuff in this movie.
Yeah.
It takes his muzzle off. That was impressive as shit. I was like, they got that dog to take its fucking muzzle off, which I don't know how they did that. Also, his son, when that redheaded kid come in, I was like, is this kid 14 or 40? Like,
yes, he looks like he's 20.
I know. I was like, how old is Kevin James' son? He looks like he's like fucking a million years old. Like, this movie really is. It's like, it is Home Alone with a dog, but nothing happens. It's like this, like literally nothing really happens in this movie. Like the thieves show up and are in the house for like 6 hours.
Yes, in broad daylight.
Broad daylight. They're just hanging out, eating food, chilling, talking about we should probably get out of here, and then they don't get out of here. We know it takes the owners to like at least an hour to drive from their grandma's house to their house.
So let me go get him. I'll be back in a couple hours.
And they leave their house while the thieves are in. They leave their grandma's house while the thieves are in their house, and then drive the whole way there, and the thieves are still in their fucking house. It's like and they already have jewelry. They're just like walking around doing nothing. Like, maybe we should steal this. Maybe. Let's just argue for a while. And it's so stupid. And then I couldn't tell if the pound scene was green screened or not. Because not the whole pound, but the conversation between the pound guy when they're at the front desk and Kevin James, it's either green screened or
it's
lit
super flat.
Okay, or just lit really weird because
no, I guarantee you in that regard what they did was they just took the ISO, jacked it up to as much as they could get away with, and they were just like, we don't need lighting for this shot.
Yeah, it is so flat. It literally looks like a green screen composite. But maybe it wasn't, but that's impressive movie. If your movie is so poorly shot that it's not green screened, but it looks like it is fucking green screen, that's a new one. That's a new level. One of my favorite things this movie does, and it's a great animal bad movie thing, is when they do the POV dog shot. I love.
Yeah. Can you imagine being an actor in that?
My favorite thing in that moment is when they do this and they go, oh, Poochie, 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 and they rub near the camera with their hands.
Hey, Zeus. How are you, buddy? Huh? You want to come home with me? Yeah? Do you want a nice family? Yeah?
It's the best thing where you can clearly tell they're like pretending to be petting the animal by rubbing around where the lens is, like, kind of. It looks so fucking stupid.
I miss you so much. I miss you so much.
I was like, you know what would be great? Fuck Mario Lopez. I'm just gonna overdub all the scenes in this movie with Alvin flying.
Hey, Zeus. How are you, buddy?
My name is Alvin Flang. Why is everything in here green? All right, grab on, you pizza face cinder block.
Oh, so then so he brings the dog home. The wife starts complaining. She's like, "Look, we got a dog. You didn't you said you weren't going to do that. 2, if we want safe to be safe, why don't we just get an alarm?
Yeah, get a home security system."
It just seems like an alarm would be so much safer and easier.
All right,
and I'm like, yep.
Is that like you don't have money? Look at your house.
That's what I mean. That's the thing that blew my fucking mind. That house doesn't have an alarm system on it.
That's like what, at least $2.5 million.
That's a multi-million-dollar house. That house is enormous. Their porch is as big as my old apartment. Like their front porch, you could literally fit my old apartment in. Yeah. It's a fucking huge house. Like it's enormous. And it was like, wait, if you have a house that big and you have that much money, you're gonna have a fucking alarm system on that thing. Like,
how many times do you think they had to break the take because the dog
barked? Right? They're like, you can't bark, and then they're like, fuck, god damn it. Yeah, I guarantee it happened a lot. Well, at first I was like, was this storyline conveniently written in because they couldn't get the dog to bark? But that's not it. Nope. It seems like that's actually what the kind of plot is, because they have this whole backstory because he doesn't bark because he barked one time and ruined everything and got abandoned by the police force. So now he can't.
Which is insane.
I know, it's ridiculous. He also broke the trigger finger of his cop handler.
It was my fault. Because of my barking, I blew a 5-year investigation. And to top it off, my partner broke his trigger finger. He was never able to shoot straight again.
And they order some Chinese food that gets delivered by maybe the most overt Jewish stereotype I've seen in a movie in some time.
So aesthetically Jewish.
Hey, Goldberg is Chinese food.
Yes, of course, yeah. Merry Hanukkah.
Happy holidays, close enough.
Yeah,
$2.75.
Like the curls and everything.
It's kind of ridiculous, but I love he shows up and just starts hitting on Kevin James' wife. And I was like, do it, dude.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Oh, yeah, we're building a little gingerbread house there.
I meant the girl, not the house.
Oh, the girl, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, she's kosher, too.
Hi. Merry Christmas.
That would be my wife, yeah.
Hanukkah.
And then Kevin James gives the dog a bath.
This is a little awkward, George, don't you think?
Yeah, there we go, Zeusy. Is that better?
Ooh.
What do they do to you?
Oh, yeah, now I'm digging it.
And it's the most upsetting scene in this whole movie because you can tell the dog has no desire to be in this bathtub
I'm good.
with sweatier Kevin James. He's like, I do not want this. I've never seen a dog look less happy in my entire life.
You know what I'm talking about?
Ooh, right there, George.
You know what it's like to be a man?
Yeah, I do.
I was the only one.
Oh, yeah, that's the spot.
Besides Ben. But now it's me, you, and Ben.
It is the scene exactly is Neil Breen in Double Down.
Yes,
where he's in
with
the
that
pool.
girl. Or in the bathtub with the girl. And she's like, the dog is that girl in that scene, like,
House.
Men of the house. Yeah, right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Ooh, right there, George.
You know what it's like to be a man?
Yeah, I do.
I was the only one.
Oh, yeah, that's the spot.
Besides Ben.
you've got to stop. It's so upsetting. I was like, I feel real bad for that dog. No animals were harmed in the making of this film physically. Emotionally, I don't know, man.
Oh, man.
Then we get a nice little montage of them bonding with the dog, even though it's not a good security dog because he won't bark. It's like I truly don't need to think about butt sweat Kevin James using a bidet. But here we are. And then this is where you find out the dog has dog PTSD.
Okay, hang on. Not only that we know this dog's name is Zeus. Now, here's the thing. The pound knows the dog's name is Zeus, even though they picked it up off the street.
So Zeus is what you want, huh?
Zeus?
Somehow, in this dog's belongings that it has like in a knapsack it has.
In a hobo sack.
Yes. This dog has a plaque of certification that it's a police dog.
Where did that come from? Where the fuck movie do you expect me to believe that they got that? Did that dog just have it? Yeah, exactly. In his fucking hobo sack. He has a wall plaque that says Zeus award-winning police dog or canine unit or whatever.
He's in his precinct. And the chief's like, all right, now, Zeus, you did bad. We can't have you around here.
Can't have you barking on the job.
Exactly. So here's your things. Now get going.
You can leave the gun and the badge. You can take your plaque though.
Here's your kibbles and bits.
They leave his canine harness on him and but take the badge off and shove his plaque into it and kick him out the fucking door. How does that play out? Yeah, when they show that later in the movie, I was like, where the fuck did you get that from? What is going on? Oh, it's amazing. And I love the arguing over this dog. The whole thing. I was like, they adopt this dog. The dog costs nothing.
Yeah.
And so, but they're still arguing they're like, we should get an alarm. She's like, we should get an alarm. The mom's like, we should have gotten an alarm.
And we agreed that we would either have an alarm or the dog.
Belinda, stop with the alarm already, okay?
And I'm like,
and you can.
You just could get an alarm and also have a dog. That's the option. You're rich.
It's a double whammy there.
Yeah, I was like, they're acting like it's a one or the
I want to
other.
know what Kevin James's job is, because we know what his wife does. She's like a part-time seamstress that works.
Yeah,
like
she's a
costumes
part-time
and stuff.
seamstress. Yeah, she makes like,
I barely have enough time as it is since I went back to work.
Back to work? Honey, you're a seamstress and you work here at home. I mean, what's the big deal?
I am a costume maker, and it is a big deal.
It's not a sustaining a $2.5 million home and 2 kids kind of money, I would assume.
No.
So yeah, I don't know what Kevin James does, but maybe he just is Gary Valentine in this movie.
It's all those residuals.
He has the residuals from the like 3 Adam Sandler movies he was in. Maybe he's a stand-in for, maybe in the universe of this movie, he's a Kevin James stand-in.
I keep wanting to say Kevin Smith.
He's a Kevin James body double.
Yes.
Because Kevin James can't be bothered to show up for all of his fucking reverse shots in movies, so they just get Gary Valentine to do it. Oh, it'd be amazing.
I'm just saying, I don't think we should give up on him so fast.
Why are you so attached to this dog?
Okay, and then this is the weird thing too. We get this like weird attempt at like characterization for Kevin James's character, where he's like,
I used to have a dog named was a Duke.
Well, but before that, he gets to this thing where he goes, after the holidays, the wife says after the holidays we'll get a new watchdog or something like that. And Kevin James is talking to the dog, and he says,
because he's underestimated, and I know exactly how that feels.
And I'm like, dude, why? We don't know anything about you.
By all measures of how your family I mean, granted, your family doesn't have much respect for you, but
no,
that's
but you are Gary Valentine.
you live in a fantastic house in what looks like a fantastic neighborhood.
Yeah, like how are you he must make a ton of money at some job. No, somebody's not underestimating you. If anything, they're overestimating you.
We're not seeing a whole hell of a lot of vices. It's not like they're showing him like binge drinking.
Yeah, we see nothing. That there's no setup for what like him at work like getting shit on by his boss. We see nothing. It's literally just him getting a dog and then being like, I know what it's like to be underestimated. I'm like,
do you think that was his character crying out? Because he's Kevin James's brother.
They rolled there is way after hours. Yeah. Gary Valentine's on set with the dog, just pounding him back. They're like, this is brilliant stuff, roll.
I know what it's like to be underestimated. Zeus, Lana, whatever your name is. I mean, somebody like me, I know what it's like to be underestimated. People looked at me and said, you'll never be as funny as Kevin. All right, Gary, ready for the next take? Oh, we are?
No, I guarantee you the director's sitting over there like, this is good stuff. This is the best he's acted all day. Are we rolling right now? I know what it's like to be underestimated.
I guess it wasn't just meant to be.
Because at some point the kids.
Yeah, this is the cat lady. This is it right here.
So like the kids are trying to get the dog to bark, so they're having it listen to barking.
Yeah, they have a record of tape of
giant
barking.
boombox.
Yeah, a boombox from the early 90s.
Okay, so you have to surprise Mom and Dad with a nice loud bark before Christmas Eve.
Yeah, and they just play dogs barking. It's like, if you don't learn to bark, or you stay away from the house over there, that's where the crazy cat lady lives.
And you see her through the window.
She'll feed you stew that'll like poison you, and then she'll take you to the pound where you can be released to your family again.
Yeah, I know, right? They just show up.
They know who you are.
Yeah.
So she lures the dogs in with her homemade stew and then calls the pound up as they're eating it.
And I'm like, oh, it's the shovel dude from Home Alone.
Yeah.
It's the shovel guy from Home Alone. Great. Cool. Great. Which it is exactly the shovel dude from Home Alone, except it's a cat lady.
So don't worry. I'm not going to send you to the pound anytime soon.
And so they set up that character, and then they're building the gingerbread house downstairs, and this is like the catastrophe that's leads to them. The wife saying we got to get rid of Zeus is they're building this fucking gingerbread house, and I love in one of the bloopers, Kevin James is just like roasting this little girl.
Yes.
Now where do I put these?
Oh, anywhere, sweetheart. Anywhere your little heart desires. You want to put that up top there? Yeah, that's good. But honey, we're trying to make it look prettier. Just a little prettier. But that's okay. Give us a good try.
I was like, why wasn't that in their movie? That was the funniest thing in your fucking movie.
You were absolutely right about like most of the things with his character. He's just like randomly going.
I'm like, oh, this is what improvised dialogue looks like when it's somebody who's not talented.
Remember, we've been working on this a long time, and it is kind of fragile, right? Yeah. And it is our gift to Grandma.
Right.
You know. Yeah. So,
we done? Somebody say cut.
Oh, God.
Remember, if we do a very nice job this year, Grandma probably will make you,
I love this too. The dog breaks something upstairs and they hear it.
What was that? Is that Zeus?
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's carry this thing upstairs. They don't go check to see what the fuck just broke upstairs. They're like, they pick up this giant gingerbread house that they've been working on for weeks. It's gonna be their only gift to their grandma or whatever.
Which, by the way, what a weird
gift. Apparently it's the only thing she wants is this gingerbread house. They carry it out of the dining room, or through the dining room, and they walk off camera, and then we see it fall. But so they walk out of the shot through this doorway, and then we get an insert shot of like a gingerbread house falling through the air, and then we cut back to this doorway, and they're still off camera, and they're like, oh no, it broke. I'm like, why are we not watching any of this? Why do we just have an insert shot?
I think they did it, and it was a bad take.
Yeah. And it was the only one they had. 100%. I get, because like they literally just have a close-up of gingerbread pieces falling. So you're right. They probably broke it, didn't get a good shot. It was out of focus or something. And it's like horribly out of focus because they use a lot of out of focus shots in this movie. Or something happened, like the dog died during the something. Like it fell on the dog and killed it. I don't know. But so they couldn't use that shot, but they still had all the pieces. So they picked up the pieces, set the camera up, and just vaguely dropped them in front of the camera in pieces. And they're like, we'll just put that in.
Yeah,
that'll be great. That'll be great.
Oh, yes.
No, Zeus, get back!
At least they can edit to convey something.
Yeah.
Instead of other ones that we've done.
Oh yeah, they're like I said, whoever edited this thing got a nothing. Got nothing.
They
and like
they didn't exactly polish the turd.
No, they didn't.
But
polish.
they at least made it look like something.
They put the turd into the shape of like a movie.
Yes.
to resemble a movie slightly.
They did a successful enough job to merit a couple of sequels.
Yeah, are those from the same series?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta see what Gary Valentine's up to in the sequels of these movies. I hope in the sequel it's like everybody's left him, his family leaves, and they take Zeus, and it's just a movie about him trying to adopt.
You think you're something, Kevin? Because you're King of Queens? My dog saved Christmas.
It's just very Gary Valentine drunkenly in a mirror, like.
Think you're something because you had a successful sitcom, brother?
Just looking at himself and imagining it's Kevin James. It's like fucking gold.
I got a movie series.
You're not in The Dog Who Saved Christmas. You haven't worked with Dean Cain. I've worked. He's Superman. Oh, and then this is where Kevin James talks about his old dog.
Georgie, stop playing with Duke. It's time for dinner.
Yes.
And he starts
it's so bizarre.
Crying.
Oh God, yeah. Is this where he's like, we're gonna take you to
we gotta take you to the pound.
All right, this was the one scene where he was like, all right, I'll give you something.
He tries so you can feel him delving to the depths of his soul to like scrounge up some tears for this scene because he's like, I used to have a dog, Zeus, and my mother was Black American. like that's what it feels like. It feels like that fucking scene, kind of.
Sorry, buddy. Guess it wasn't just meant to be.
But man, he is really going for those tears. And then this is where the movie actually starts and we finally get the fucking like
it only took like 40 minutes.
Yeah, like 45, 50 minutes. And this is where they show up to finally rob the place because our family's going to their grandma's for Christmas Eve.
With some of the worst sing-along shit.
Yeah.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Through the fields we go, laughing all the way.
I feel like that kid realized this was a nightmare and was like, well,
like even the little girl was realizing it at some point.
Yeah, that little girl was not enjoying it either. I feel like even in the bloopers you can tell she's like with Frau, with the grandma, and she's like,
Sleep in heaven.
Like, don't you want to sing? Don't you want to sing Silent Night? No. No, I'm good.
Can I leave? What are the union hours again for kids? Like, am I allowed, or like, what are the rules for kids again? If I still have to be here? Costco Kevin James decides he needs to go. He goes back inside because he needs to grab the cookies from the table, the Christmas cookies, and put them on the mantle.
Yeah.
For some reason, and then then I was like, oh, that's gonna mean so. That's gonna nope. The dog just knocks him off, eats them, and then
Cookies? Are those cookies? Yes, cookies. Come to Zeus, baby. Got him.
Dude, can you explain to me why the toilet is Transylvanian?
Come, Zeus, drink from my well.
Did you notice this? The toilet starts talking to the dog like,
oh yeah,
drink from me.
Drink from me. Like, why is the toilet Transylvanian?
You're not going crazy. You're just alone and thirsty. Come, enjoy. It's cool and refreshing.
What is?
I was more distracted by the bidet.
Right, the bidet is just sitting here. Who should be French?
Yes, exactly.
Who should fucking be French? But
we welcome you tonight, and now we invite you to relax. Just pull up a chair.
And then we get a sad dog montage of him laying on the floor, and I'm like, "Where's the fucking Sarah McLachlan? What are we doing here, movie?" Oh wait,
Brian.
Yeah, I'll take care of it. I don't have to deal with all your fucking licensing rules, movie. Fair use, baby.
And it's hard at the end of the day. I need some distraction.
They get there, they're breaking in the house. He talks about how he used to work for a lock. Joey Diaz is like, I used to work for a locksmith.
I'm gonna get this one. Step aside.
You know what you're doing?
Work for a locksmith. You forget about these things.
Proceeds to take 20 minutes to try to pick a lock. And they end up...
I made the locks. I didn't know how to...
Made the keys,
made
yeah.
the keys, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you worked at a locksmith, but you don't have a lock picking kit. You just have bobby pins. Great.
Which more than likely came from the Jewish guy from earlier. Keep his yarmulke on.
Oh, I was like, is that some weird stereotype? I don't know. Okay, the yarmulke, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Every single one I've seen, they've always been like,
yeah, you got to pin them on so they don't fall off.
Come on, baby. Come on, let Uncle Stewie teach you.
Oh yeah, and then they try to go in the back, and the ornaments start falling off. The dog starts nosing, and again, they're acting like they're throwing bricks at him. It's like
which is the scene they're trying to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they're literally just Christmas ornaments, so they wouldn't hurt at all. They're just like very light, hollow pieces of glass.
Seen him leave, didn't we?
Who's doing that in the mud?
I'm shelling you now,
Can't leave
guys.
the mud alone. They must have left one of the kids behind to watch him.
I love to. They hear the cat at the old lady's house meow from across the street.
Dogs. I hate dogs.
I'm like, that's the loudest fucking cat in the entire inside.
And we know, your cats.
Yeah, because it's my cat.
Been picked up a few times.
Yeah, but that's in the hallway 4 feet from us, not across the street behind a
Meow!
Meow!
Dogs. I hate dogs.
Meow!
Meow! I said, oh, look, his grandma is that lady from Austin Powers, or his mom is that, when they get there, it's yeah, she's that lady from Austin Powers. They're like, boy, I haven't seen her in anything since Austin Powers.
Dr. Evil, I want you to meet your son.
My son?
I promise.
One more peep out of you, and you are grounded, mister, and I am not joking.
Zeus runs to go get help because he still can't bark, but then runs into something.
Well, he runs into something off
again, and stuff happens off camera because they couldn't be bothered to.
Because he specifically says, "Oh, look, a tree brand."
All I have to do is sneak past the crazy cat lady's house. Come on, you can do it. Mush, 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 Zeus. No stopping until I... tree branch.
Yeah, and then runs behind the fence post, and then it's like, oh, my head, oh, and then wakes up in the cat lady's house.
Which, by the way, so like, is it that night?
It's got to be like a few minutes later, because it's all that same, because they're breaking in.
I know, that's
and
why I was
it's
confused.
Christmas Eve. So it can't be, yeah, it's got to be that evening.
So what's it like being a dog?
Today it stinks. What's it like being a cat?
It's not so bad. You get to spy on people through windows and poop inside.
Cat lady cures the dog's PTSD, basically. Really, that's what happens. She tells him this sweet story about how she used to have a dog.
And then the dog attacked me.
Rufus? He attacked me. Yeah.
And ripped her sweater, and she sent it to the pound, and that's why everybody assumed she hates dogs.
I had to give him away, which is probably where the rumor got started.
Also, I love she's like, people also think I don't like Christmas because I don't put lights up outside.
They think because I don't put any lights outside for Christmas, I'm a Scrooge.
I have no one to help me put up lights outside. I'm like,
you're perfectly well, like she's not like an old lady. She's like
in her 50s.
Like, and she seems to get around fine whenever we see her. I'm like, you couldn't put a wreath on your door?
Maybe she's on like disability and they can't like, you just gotta make sure she doesn't.
Yeah, go outside. But she has Christmas decorations everywhere in her home. And she's like, I would put them outside, but I can't. I'm like, you could hang a wreath. That takes literally no effort. But sure, okay. So he preps for the robbers. And as they're going in, the robbers, he goes, okay, well, we got these things. He goes, to deal with the dog, in case, because we know there's a dog now, or they find out there's a dog. He's got a muzzle, and he has a trank gun.
Yes.
I got a tranquilizer gun.
And that trank gun is almost 100%.
No, it's totally a Nerf gun.
It's 100% a Nerf gun, but where's that fucking thing at? I have that Nerf gun. I swear to God, it's that, you know that little yellow one?
Yeah.
I don't know where it is. Doesn't matter.
We're gonna find it.
I don't know where it is. It could be in another whole room.
Yeah, fuck it.
I thought we were playing with it. Like,
here it is.
There you go. Like, it is like almost exactly this Nerf gun. Like, almost exactly. I'm not kidding. Like, it might be this Nerf gun because this is $1 at like Walmart or whatever. Also, this thing shoots like a motherfucker. You can kill somebody with it. So they spray painted a Nerf gun black, and I was like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that is a Nerf gun spray painted black.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about how much of a fucking Nerf gun spray painted black it is here in a second. They talk about this, so they run away from the ornaments, and then they go downstairs, and they're like, we get an 80-yard line of Joey Diaz being like, I'm gonna kick in the door because maybe the alarm's probably not on because there's somebody inside. I'm gonna kick in the door. Oh, my ankle. Oh, it's all off camera, just 80-yard lines. And then because it cuts, and then they're in the house, and we're like, all right.
I'm just gonna kick in the basement door. If there's kids in there, then there's no way the alarm is turned on. Ah! I think I broke my ankle. I told you this was a bad idea, Ted.
They sneak in and they muzzle the dog, and I was like, these are the nicest robbers. These are like some good, you would think that like their guys have been in prison, they just don't care, they're just robbing houses, they would just fucking kill the dog or something. Mm-hmm. So they muzzle the dog and they tie it to like a thing, like a bike or something.
Yeah.
And
so Joey Diaz wanted to kill the dog.
And then
he about took a driver to it.
Yeah.
Talk is cheap where I come from, Marshmallow Man.
Let me smash him.
And then Joey Diaz finds the plaque and is like, oh, this is a canine dog. I saw this dog on TV. This is the dog.
I seen a whole special about these guys. Wait a second. It's him. This dog is one of the smartest dogs in the world. Give me a stick here.
Apparently he ain't that smart.
He's the smartest dog in the world or something like that.
Let me take him.
Yeah, I'm gonna kill it. And then Dean Cain's like, you can kill it later.
First we get what we came for, then you can do whatever you want to, okay?
After we rob everything. And I'm like, why would you come back to kill the dog after you've stolen stuff and left? And you can just leave. But it's so weird because they were just like, why would you bring non-lethal options for this dog, including mace and a muzzle, if you're perfectly willing to murder this dog? Just fucking murder the dog. And I don't condone murdering dogs. I'm just saying.
I'm refusing to say anything. This is making Brian look very bored. Brian, just kill the dog.
In this scene and in most scenes, Joey Diaz's fucking face looks like he's in the middle of a heart attack. At all times. He literally constantly looks like he's having a heart attack. He's like just the most purple, strained face at all fucking times. And I'm like, how is this man still alive? How is he fucking
He's still alive.
He is.
Even
He's
this
like,
movie is 8 years ago.
Yeah, he's like 60 or something. He's still alive. He had a cocaine habit for 30 years, I read on Wikipedia. How is that man still alive? Besides, I don't understand it, man. I don't fucking understand it. This is the other thing about this movie, and I guess like it's a comedy. It's a stupid family comedy, and it's the humor of it. But like this dog wouldn't have saved the day even remotely had these robbers been even the slightest bit competent.
Well,
now that's also true of Home Alone. I mean, to be fair, that's also true of Home Alone. But like, the dog does nothing for most of the time they're there, but they just stay in the house for like 8 hours until the dog finally gets to do something.
Joey Diaz plays a round of pool.
Yeah, he plays a round of pool. He makes 2 sandwiches. They just walk around. They even show them grabbing the jewelry, and then they still hang out forever. There's a scene where they're looking at the presents, and they're like, we should steal these. And then Dean Cain is like...
Who has a heart in this movie.
But he doesn't. But he fucking doesn't. It's the weirdest thing. He has a heart. Yeah, it seems like it. He's like...
Hey, what about these gifts?
You're heartless, you know that?
Time to pay the piper, boys.
How are they gonna feel when they come back and they think that Santa skipped their house, huh?
And he's like, oh, okay. And then Joey Diaz is like, how about this?
How about we take half of them and sell them online and take the other half and we keep them?
Now you're talking.
All right. Yeah. I'm like, that's not better. That's the same as tape. Wait, what? That's the same thing. Oh, and this, I called this. So the dog gets its muzzle free, starts intervening and starts, and then Joey Diaz pulls out the mace and
maces himself.
Oh, in the most predictable moment.
It's clearly like a squirt bottle.
It's a $1 squirt bottle that you could full of water. Yeah.
Go ahead, punk. Give it your best shot.
Don't move. I'm gonna get you.
Mace is almost always aerosolized. Like almost always, I would think.
Brian is an expert in this.
Oh, I've been on the receiving end of quite a bit of mace, let me tell you. Always aerosolized. No, but like, cause that's the, like, so that it sprays a good distance, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in this stuff, it's very clearly like a little pump bottle. He goes, but as soon as he pulled it out and was going like this up the stairs, I'm like, fuck you. And then, so he maces himself in the face, gets down on the floor, and then
stumbles down, and then Dean Cain pulls out
that Nerf gun, the trank gun,
and he's like training on the dog, and misses, and hits Joey Diaz right in the forehead.
Boy, did you clowns pick the wrong house.
Get that dog!
Oh, and this fucking, oh my god. So talk about lazy and cheap.
Yeah.
It is literally, not only is it very clearly a Nerf gun just the first time you see it, but when he pulls it up and points it at the camera after he shoots it, you can see that little orange stick in the middle. They didn't paint that part or take it out. You can see that part in the middle of the fucking gun. Then when they cut to the fucking dart on his forehead,
it's a hollow dart.
It's a hollow, poorly spray painted orange neon Nerf dart that has been hastily painted black, but not well, and you can still see the orange through it. I'm like, why would you use that? Why even, okay, even if you want that in the gun and then you shoot it, when it cuts to his forehead, get something else. Use anything. Why would you use a spray painted black Nerf dart? You could literally use anything.
You find a dart, find like literally just a throwing dart, even, and then give it like a poofy end.
A poofy end. And fucking spirit gum it to his forehead.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are we? They were so lazy, they couldn't be bothered because it was really easy and fast to spray paint a Nerf dart black and then lick it and stick it to his fucking forehead. I was like, fuck, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that's the kind of effort you're putting into this movie. Fuck you. I couldn't.
And then it comes to the climax, if you will, of this film.
Yeah. Dog drops the chandelier.
And here's the thing. The chandelier was set up earlier in the film.
Was it?
I don't like how the chandelier is up there.
George, we really need to get that chandelier in the foyer fixed. I don't think that it's safe hanging tied the way it is.
It's perfectly safe the way it is, honey.
Which we don't see up until this moment where the chandelier is just knotted to the railing.
Yeah, it's tied to the fucking railing.
How incredibly unsafe is that?
So stupid. And then the dog unties it and drops it on him.
Lights out. Sleep well, boys.
And then
somebody hears something.
Oh, well, the neighbor, the cat lady hears, and she calls the cops.
Yeah.
And the cops show up, and the dog's standing there on him barking, and then that's when our family gets home.
By the way, you would expect for the cops to maybe possibly put down the dog.
Yeah, and normally in those instances, but they were like, "Oh, good job, dog," and I'm like, "That's all right."
Just calm down. It's nice, nice. I don't have any treats either. I don't know. Just give him a treat. Give him some gum.
I got some gum. Gum.
It's amazing. Like, and the rest of it's amazing because then these cops really want Zeus as their police dog.
I love they even say when they get there, they're like, when the family shows up, because the family decided to come home and so that Zeus wasn't alone.
They couldn't, because they're like, oh God, we can't handle this woman. And then they bring her. They bring the grandma.
They bring grandma, yeah. Well, it's not even we can't handle her. They say no. They want to go home because they say Zeus. They want to go get Zeus.
Yeah.
Because they say Zeus shouldn't be home alone for Christmas or whatever. It does.
Well, we want to go too.
Yeah, can we come?
Sure.
Let's do it. All right, let's go. Let's go.
So then they get there, and I love the police show up, and the police find that the people unconscious under the chandelier with the dog standing there. And then when the family shows up, the police go,
If it wasn't for your dog, these guys would have gotten away.
how the fuck do you know that? Like, oh, you found two crooks in a house with a chandelier laying on them. You don't know what the fucking dog had anything to do with that. Like, what are you? All right, sure.
No, Zeus had his credentials right.
Yeah, he pulled out his badge. He's like, oh, got him, boys. And then the mice, because who cares about them?
Yay, he's barking. Tell him to quit stalking it already.
But yeah, then they want to recruit Zeus.
Yes.
Mr. Bannister?
Yeah.
You know, we could really use a dog like Zeus down at the precinct.
How about it, Mr. Bannister? Would you consider letting us adopt him?
And I was like, that's not how this works.
That's not how it works. The dog has to go through a certain kind of training that has to be certified.
You don't just find
Although it does have a plaque.
Yeah, he has a plaque. He has the pedigree, I guess. But like, I love they're just like, we need a dog like this down at the precinct. And I'm like, what? You're just gonna ask this family for their dog because you think it caught some criminals? You're the fucking worst police in the entire world. And they're like, no, Zeus is ours now.
Zeus is a Bannister.
And then,
Mommy, we want to keep
Sorry,
Zeus.
officers, but I'm retired and living the good life now.
Well, looks like he's become a part of the family.
And then everybody has a happy Christmas, even the crazy cat lady.
yeah, she comes over to fuck their mom.
Hey.
Oh.
Annie?
Millie?
Oh my goodness.
You guys know each other?
Singles night at the karaoke bar.
We won first place.
Hava, Nagila, Hava.
That is 100% what that is.
Yes.
100%. They show up, the crazy cat lady walks over, and Frau from fucking Austin Powers walks up and recognizes her, and she's like, oh my God, we know each other from Singles Night. And then I'm like, yeah, they do. What's up? Let's watch this sequel.
Boy.
They're like the whole 100% upstairs scissoring while the family is like celebrating Christmas. That is how this movie ends. Spoiler alert. That's how this fucking movie ends. And then the carolers show up, and I'm like, you know what? I'm so fucking glad carolers aren't a thing.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I don't think I could be bothered to go stand out and pretend to like a bunch of off-key assholes singing on my front porch.
I've done it.
You've gone caroling?
I've gone caroling.
I'd rather go caroling and subject it to other people than be on the receiving end.
That
of
was
fucking
back in
caroling.
my theater days.
Kyle had theater days, everybody.
Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.
George, it just stop it.
Then we get the blooper reel. It's a great blooper reel. It's the world's best blooper reel. It's not. It's terrible. But I love. My favorite clip is just the guy being mean to Kevin James being mean to the little girl.
Oh, anywhere, sweetheart. Anywhere your little heart desires. You want to put that up top there? Yeah, that's good. But honey, we're trying to make it look prettier. You know, just a little prettier. but that's okay. It was a good try.
There's also one scene where Bizarro Kevin James is actually super furious at the actress. It seems like it. He's like very. I feel like I can see the fury boiling under his, where she keeps messing up and laughing.
And he's like you're shaking her.
He's like, ha! You're so funny. This is so funny. Get it right.
All right, here we go. Come on, come on.
Okay. Okay.
Come on. Come on. Belinda, trust me, okay? These kids. Trust me. Belinda, trust me. Dogs are so hard. What's the matter?
Okay.
These kids.
Get it right! You can feel it under the just underneath. He wants to fucking shake her until she stops breathing, but he just.
Yeah.
He's like, ha ha, everybody laugh, everybody laugh. I'm gonna fucking kill myself. It's my favorite.
Yeah.
This movie's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's because the thing, it is kind of incompetent in the like. There's lots of out of focus shit. The acting is half-assed at best. Yeah, like you said, mailing in the fucking performances like crazy. But there's moments that are funny, and it's like like it's just like a dumb family. Like it's a Home Alone. Like it's not anything like.
Yeah, this isn't anything special. It's just like every other movie that we've done, which is a copy of another movie, but
you're
just
like,
way less competent.
Fine, and there's nothing that stands out that makes it good bad. So yeah, I'd say it's bad, but it's.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for the 67th episode of Good, Bad, or Bad. We have a Patreon. You can support us there. We have a Q&A coming out very shortly on there, answering questions. We're recording it right now. I got a podcast called This Film Is Lit, where me and my girlfriend talk about movies that are based on books. We just finished our run on Harry Potter. It's over. It's done. It's completed. But you can check out every episode, all 8 of them about Harry Potter. Our next episode, probably around the time this comes out, is Night at the Museum, which is based on a kid's book I was unaware of.
I'm not sure when.
Is it out yet?
No, I'm not sure. I have not been told. But that if I have anything to promote, that's it.
There you go. Check out Luna and the Moonling. Yes, from me, Force is a fan of the show, friend of the show, artist.
Yep.
All that sort of good stuff.
Amazing art by him.
Yep. He has a video game that he was art director, creative director, something. He did the art or worked on the art project for. Luna and the Moonling was a fun little puzzle game. Check it out. It's on Steam. And until next time, keep watching movies.
Enjoy the holidays.
Yeah, we're already post Thanksgiving, and our next episode is out after Christmas, before Christmas.
Merry Christmas if the next episode doesn't come out. If it comes out after Christmas.
Either way, happy holidays.
Yeah.
From Good, Bad, or Bad to you.